two grinders can run exactly the same speed, have the same burr size, but taste completely different. Burr design doesn't just decide how fast a coffee's cut, but how it's cut. So this means that burrs aren't just metal discs, they are flavor tools. And in this video, I'm gonna go deep into grinder burrs for the Rev series. So first, let's touch on what burrs actually control. Now this is down to 4 key factors. Number 1 is grind speed. 2 is heat generation. 3 is particle distribution and particle shape. And 4 is extraction repeatability. Change any one of those and the cup changes. So first, we're gonna start off with the aspect of size versus geometry. Now all Rev Series grinders will use this 83mm burr size. Now this longer cutting surface allows the load to be spread across a longer surface, which is more gentle on the coffee. Now remember, size of the burrs is only one aspect for the result we'll get in the cup and extraction. The surface science and the burr geometry will also play a critical role. Now let's start off with geometry. The angles of the cuts, the number of pre-breakers in the middle, or the depths of those channels will significantly affect whether the coffee is sheared and sliced or crushed and milled. And this has a huge effect on whether that coffee is going to taste very clean and clear or heavy, harsh and muddy. And this is why 2 different 83mm burr geometries can behave like 2 completely different machines. The next aspect is metallurgy or engineering friction. Beyond just shape, geometry and size, the surface can have a huge impact on the end result. But Ceado, they don't treat every surface exactly the same. They use a variety of different metal alloys as the base and different styles of coating to achieve different surface styles for different outcomes. What most people don't realize is coating, like red speed, isn't just a paint that sits on the surface of the burr. It's a chemical marriage between that surface applied and the metal alloy underneath. Ceado uses special alloys like K110 for its alloys as the base of burrs, because this provides a harder, a more stable surface for those coatings to be applied to. Now this extreme hardness provides that rigid foundation to allow for molecular penetration. And this changes depending on which alloy is used for the base metal of the burr. Now the coating atoms interweave throughout that crystalline structure, which varies depending on the alloy used beneath. Now this isn't just a layer that sits on top, it's an interdiffusion zone that means it won't flake or peel under the pressures of grinding. Now the next aspect to the coating is roughness and smoothness. Now by changing this chemical bond, they can tune the grip of the surface of the burr. Now in some designs, we actually want a little bit of engineered roughness in the surface of the burr. Now this provides a touch more friction, which can create more of these micro fissures, which increase extraction yield and increase body and intensity in the cup. For example, here with the red speed burrs, they use that K110 alloy base and apply the red speed coating to create a surface 6 times more smooth than regular steel. Now this here minimizes friction and heat to allow those beans to shatter into more uniform polygons. This produces more vibrant acidity and excellent clarity in the cup. So you've seen here that 2 different burrs with choices of surface, geometry, alloys and more will create completely different results in extraction and the cup. Which is why I want to now touch on why in-house burr design really matters. Now many grinder manufacturers outsource the production of their burrs. This limits the number of these combinations that they can test. And as we know with grinders, success lives in microns. That's 1/100th of a millimeter. So these are aspects that need to be tuned to suit the equipment and get the best outcome. For example, if the exit resistance for the coffee out the chute was to change design, the ideal burr set will change with it. And because Ceado produces their burrs in-house, they're able to fine-tune the geometry and the metallurgy to suit the grinder chamber and exit resistance of each particular machine. So we aren't just forcing a generic shape into a high-performance machine. We're building the flavor lens and outcomes from the ground up. So this philosophy shows up in many different options. The stainless steel burrs produce smooth, forgiving espresso, and it's great for iced drinks. The red speed for less friction and heat, where lighter, denser coffees mean clarity is king. The iron candy burr set is for modern light roasts, where extraction yields, sweetness and body are extremely important. The next aspect is speed versus heat. The geometry of the burr will dictate how hard that motor has to work to grind the coffee. For example, an aggressive burr set with a lot of pre-breakers in the center and outward angled teeth might grind really fast, but if the friction isn't managed with the right coating to alloy combination, will generate a lot of heat and damage our consistency. The goal isn't just the fastest grind available, it's also the most repeatable one. So in the cafe, this means easier dial-ins and more repeatable shot times. In competition, it gives us clearer separation of flavors and the ability to design a coffee around a specific burr style. So as you can see, the grinder's not just a tool, it is part of our recipe. So in summary, the burrs must not just fit the grinder, it should fit the roast style and recipe style too. Success lives in microns and the quality of the surface. With in-house design, real-world testing and collaboration, Ceado has developed a series of Rev Series grinders that allows the barista or the cafe owner to select the flavor style and outcomes that best suit them.